Hello and welcome to Random with me, Irene Abalo Irene Otto. And today you can't imagine 4 amazing ladies seated in one place at my house. And guess what? What you're hearing out there is just a generator, because now we don't have Omeme. We have our very own. We have Light. Yaka has gone. So Light has gone. We are waiting for Light to come back. But for the moment, we're just going to try and be as loud as possible so you can hear us. We're having a conversation around our experiences as women. Everybody speaks like it's doom online. Like if you go online, you're either going to be attacked, you're going to be bashed, there's going to be backlash. But I hear there are people who have made it, there are people who have enjoyed the online space. So what is it and how do we find this balance as women so we're able to also thrive on the online spaces? I always want to search someone and find them online. I want to search someone and engage with them online in all these digital platforms. But recently I talked to a professor and she was like, I am not ready to go there to be abused and all my grandparents brought to the platform. But anyway, is it that we always get abused? Is it that we always have negative things happening on the online spaces? We're going to talk X, we're going to talk LinkedIn, and we're going to talk about, someone told me not to even mention TikTok because it's for the unserious, but it also has serious stuff. And then we'll also talk about Instagram. I will not want to introduce my guests myself. Let me start on I have sort of like a row where we are seated. I'll start with the person on my right. Please introduce yourself and tell us who you are, where you work, and what makes you excited to be on the tech space.
First of all, it's a beautiful Sunday, just from eating a traditional nice food called
Dekongoni. Now we've gone north
with layata. Layata is sweet potatoes. Lafori is dry ball. For us, we call it ball, and then it's pested. My name is Sandra Acheng. Sometimes I call myself a gender and tech witch, but sometimes I say I'm a witch is someone who is very much knowledgeable about what they do. Because by the time,
like a wizard.
Yeah, it could be a wizard, it could be anything. But yeah, so I do work around gender and technology, but I also love to write. When I hear someone doing something amazing, I'm always there to support what they do. So I love voluntary work. I also like to write on different platforms such as Wikipedia and other social platforms like Global Voices. I can't introduce myself enough, but I think that is enough.
Thank you. I am so happy to hear that you write on Wikipedia. So perhaps one of the things we're going to be asking you, why do some women have profiles on Wikipedia that are too brief?
Yes, that's a discussion for another day.
Discussion for another day.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy to have you on the show, Random. And next to Sandra is the one and only Ruth. Okobotia.
To set the record straight, I'm not a Musoga. Hey. I'm a Mugisu, 100%. I'm not even half anything. So I'm a Mugisu. My name is Ruth Nagudi. I am the co-founder of Women Lens Africa. We amplify women's voices concerning leadership, innovations, and the economy. I'm so excited to be here. Tech, the opportunities that come with it and the speed at which it evolves every day. There's something new that comes up every time, and the rate at which we can do it ourselves.
So that's like sort of always on your toes.
Yes.
Challenged here and there.
It's like we are always running and there's always something new to see every day.
I'm happy to have someone who wants to be challenged and loves to be challenged every other day. By the way, there's some people who are so comfortable where they are. You tell them about challenges, they don't want to know. And next now, the one and only, introduce yourself.
Hello everybody. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Immaculate. I work with an NGO and we mainly do different programs in livelihoods, health. You can find me on Instagram. I use that a lot. And also on LinkedIn.
What name do you use on Instagram?
Imi Adoch.
Imi Adoch.
Yes.
Okay, so that's like your name.
Yes.
Some people can have their social media name and then the name for the real name now.
That's my name. Adoch is my name, yes.
All right. Slim Shaggy. Of course, there are those ones who never left high school names. If I tell you mine, you'll be shocked what it was. Anyway, I'm Abalo Irene Otto, and I'll be hosting this today. Random, we are talking about tech. And like I said earlier, Sandra, do you think being on the tech space, being on the online space, is there anything you've noticed that we women do on the space and other women want to be there in that same space with them?
Tech is an enabler. Tech is a tool. It's also a platform. It can break you or make you. There's a phrase that I like to use that is that says that do not fix what has been broken by tech using the law. So that means that there's a lot of abuse, there's a lot of threats, there's a lot of harassment, there's a lot of backlash onto this platform. But that does not make the platform also a bad space. Like I said, as an enabler, it can be a tool, and a tool depends on how you use it. Do you use it to amplify your work? Do you use it to get opportunities? Do you use it to express your views for others to listen? Do you use it to market your goods as women, you know? Or do you use it to troll? Do you use it to abuse? Do you use it to harass that woman? Do you use it to non-consensually share someone's intimate, explicit images or videos?
But I have seen people share their pictures at the beach in a bikini, they're wearing certain things they want to show. I don't know what exactly they're trying to show, by the way, but they're also there. Not shared by anyone, but they're the ones who have shared it.
Like I said, it's a platform to express, and freedom of expression is expressing yourself without infringing on others' rights. So if I feel I am wearing a bikini and I want to post it on my platform, that's what makes me happy.
But should it be out there if it makes you happy?
Yes, it should be out there. In a bikini, you look nice. A bikini is not something bad.
Okay, I will hold you there. I'll come back to you. But Ruth, would you do that? Would you go and post your picture? Which, I mean, you've been out there with your guy, you've enjoyed, you like this bikini so much, and you decide to post for us on Instagram or on X. Would you do that?
I think with the toxicity that is around, I wouldn't do it, because people do not know where to stop, and they do not know what to do with the information that is out there. You find that either people are very bitter with themselves and they're throwing it on everybody else they can come across, and they're looking for easier targets online. Posting a picture like that would mean I am arming these bitter people with information or something they can use to express their bitterness, to express all these negative feelings they have bottled up in them. I think this is the point where we have to meet at for the sake of yourself, your family, your career. I wouldn't do it, because people blow it out of proportion. We are living in a time where you never know how people are going to respond to what you post. So sometimes you look at what is at stake and you measure it against what you're doing, and that should guide you to make the decision that you're going to make on whatever you're going to post. Look at what is at stake before you post, because people are unpredictable how they respond.
Let me take it to have you ever had to rethink after posting something and perhaps even delete it because you're like, hey, I thought this was a happy mood kind of picture, until someone decided it is not happy mood anymore for you?
Yes, definitely. There was a time I posted a picture, and after just 5 minutes I deleted it. I felt the other person, or the few people that had viewed, had perceived it in a different way, and so I thought about the impact that it would cause to me. So that's why I deleted it. But I also think we have a lot that just exposing your personal space alone might at times cause a lot of backlash. Could be backlash at the workplace, could be with just you as a person, like your personality as well. Maybe you're serving in a certain community or having certain caliber of people, and you wouldn't really want to tarnish your name or be perceived in a different way. But overall, basing on the bikini question,
Yes.
I would not post that. I wouldn't. Though it is my right, I would show the world what I would want them to see. But basically for me, I think I'm a very private person. My personal life, I will only let the world know what I want them to know. And
Okay.
it will just stop at that.
Let the world know only what you want them to know. So do you think as women, are we being too careful? Are we putting ourselves out there enough for the people to know who we really are in the space we are in? I'm going to pose this question again to Sandra. Are women withholding so much that we even don't get to see their true abilities because of what they think people will say on social media? How do we even balance this to say, okay, now here I can be free, or here I can censor based on your conscience at that time? What do you think about that?
This is because of how we have been brought up as women. The socialization that, oh, a woman should be this and a man should be this, you know. And this has affected also how we express ourselves. Like you've heard from Amy, you've heard from Ruth about trying to censor themselves not to post a picture like a bikini. And yet, a man would post a picture with their bare chests, with a short, but he will not face the same comment. I think the expectation that society expects of us is high. And for me, I would just say that women should start to embrace and question themselves, what do they really want, and not what society expects of them. What makes you really happy as Irene? What makes you really happy as Amy, as Ruth? Because people will always have what to do. Even if you're dressed Ruth, they will upload your picture on artificial intelligence AI. There's ChatGPT. They can undress you. They can put someone's other head on another body, and they can still shame you. So to what extent are we trying to censor ourselves from being able to be who we are? You know, I think that also limits a lot of what we can have access to as women and what we can do as women. I think for me, what I would like to end with is just be who you are and focus on what makes you happy.
For us women, if you tell us to be who we are, we always want to post the high-end life kind of thing as women, and we don't post the real, true, everyday things that could tell the world what it is that we do. Say, for instance, Ruth, I am unemployed. I am doing something that perhaps I believe can help improve and better my life and the lives of other people around me. But I'll leave this one that I do every day that supports other people, and I'll post the one where I am at a hotel, a 5-star somewhere, and show it to the world that that is what I do. Are we being true to ourselves as women, even as we engage online?
The truth is, social media has set the pace of life, and it has set a standard for what people expect to see online. Until recently, when someone would post food, local food, they would be insulted. They would be met with all these deteriorative terms. Because they will expect you to post pizza, they will expect you to post chicken.
Not awala for Rimian.
Exactly. So people are now just coming to realize that you can actually still show yourself, your true life on social media. You don't have to adapt to any foreign culture. It doesn't have to be that way. Maybe it also comes with the developers of the app. We just went with the trend because, I mean, this is not our own development locally or on the African continent. So we just went with the trend of what we found. I wanted to mention something about the screenshot masters. I had Amy saying that she deleted after 5 minutes. You'll be shocked how the rate at which people take screenshots in this country. You post something and you delete after 2 seconds, but 10 people have screenshots.
Except for now, I see if you're on Signal, sometimes you can limit that option. But also on WhatsApp these days, I see that for my profile, you can't really screenshot.
You can't screenshot. Yes. But for X, remember, X is now what we consider. It's more like the middle ground for people who left Facebook. Since our Facebook is still blocked up to now, it is still restricted by government. Now those people are compensating with X. That's why you see that the trend on X has changed ridiculously. But there's the rate at which they take screenshots and then they share them immediately. You will be shocked that people will store these things and they will post with proof. You know, people are always on standby. When they need to catch you, they are going to come back. But coming back to women, I don't think women, we are ever going to live our authentic selves on social media. I disagree with Sandra when she says society expects so much of us. They expect so low of us.
Oh, really?
Yes, they expect so low of women, because if a woman does great on social media, she's going to be an enemy to every other man out there or woman, telling them you're show-offs, you're not even married, look at you.
So now how does the marriage and the show-offs and all that come in? Yet you're saying that the society expects law of you.
Uganda, women have always been at the back. It's until recently that we see women coming at the front, women living what they want to do, not being dictated by society, their families, their spouses. Previously, that has been our lives, that even from the time you're young, they're telling you, if you do this, men won't like you. If you sit like this, you won't get married. If you talk like this, you won't get married. If you eat like this, you're not going to get married. They've always, exactly, me, I've always been laughing like a breaking cup. So, and I've always had...
How does a breaking cup laugh?
So, people have always told me those things. From the physical life, we have been told what to do, because at the end of the day, they're expecting that your end goal is marriage. That is all you're looking out to in life. So women have always, they expect so low of us. So when you come out and defy the standards, the traditional standards that have been set, people are obviously going to come at you with their claws open and be like, hey, why are you doing this? It's not about being indecent. It's not about anything else, but it is about defying tradition. The moment you are yourself, you're defying the cultural norms, you're defying the society expectations, you are defying the standards that the world has set for women.
So basically you're saying that we've transferred some of the things that are offline to online. So we expect the things that are done offline to continue online. I don't know how true that is for you as you interact and engage online, Amy. Have you had to deal with some of these things that people expect that maybe when you're posting, you should have a certain appearance, certain, like for instance, your nail color. Some people will even criticize the nail color you have. How does that contribute to us women moving forward from what Ruth and Sandra have been saying, that society has expectations? We're also trying to come out and show the world that this is who we are, this is what we want to be happy, we want to show ourselves. How do we strike that balance so you're authentic you, you're your organic original you?
I think maybe as women we just have a lot of power that we fail to even realize that we have that power.
Power to do what?
Power to take charge.
Okay.
Power to take charge of whatever we want to do. If you look at social media, like Ruth has said, society has put a standard to how a woman should even behave. Just appearing on TV alone, there should be a certain beauty standard. If you're to get maybe on X, there should be certain words that you have to first sieve for you to be able to post it. If you're in business, there should be a certain kind of dress code that you're supposed to do. I imagine these are just a few women that are able to access social media. A few women are the ones that are on those platforms and are able to enjoy and participate in that. Now, how about women who are not even on these social media platforms? Those that are not on the social media platforms, to me, I think they take advantage of them. The people that benefit from their exposure and then they do not get to benefit from their efforts.
Say for instance, a slave farmer. Have you guys heard about the slave farmer?
Yeah.
The slave farmer is like really enjoying her farming. Recently I also saw one who is enjoying sunflower farming. And she's there, like really beautiful with her flowers. I mean, the sunflowers. So are you saying that now that we have some that we can look at and say, okay, so and so is doing it and doing it well, should we do it like them? Or how do you think we should do it?
I think we just have to take what belongs to us. If I'm a woman in business, then I should be able to utilize the social media platforms and expose my business. However, that does not mean that I do not learn from the people that are already doing it, the women that are already doing it. Because I could get inspired, I could pick one or two things that would promote my business. So why would I sit back and say, because society will perceive me in a certain way, let me shrink myself for the sake of my business? Or maybe if I post a certain statement on X, then I will be judged.
Okay, interesting. That means me who deals in recycling of wastes, I should start going to my factory and be proud, sorting out gumboots and the rest for recycling with the rest.
Demand for it.
Demand for your
demand
space.
for your space. Demand for your participation. Demand for your engagement, regardless of the kind of feedback that you might get, because feedback will always be there. Like Sandra said, people will always talk.
Okay.
But what is your intention behind whatever you put out in the world?
What do you want to get out of it?
Exactly.
What's the purpose? Why am I posting? Sandra, every time are you asking yourself, why am I posting this? Sometimes someone told me they have to first construct the sentence, leave it there, come back to it later, edit it, even edit the photo, and then read again, even send to a friend and say, I first show my neighbor and say, is this okay? What do you think about, what do you feel about this post, the words I have used in this post? Have you had to be that careful when posting as we go towards the end?
Like what Imi said, there's a lot that is expected of us as women. Like Imi gave an example of if you're appearing, for example, on TV, you're supposed to be in, but they will not focus on the men. So those are the expectations I was trying to. It's your she was even wearing which lipstick or what. That's what they will say, and that's the. But a man will come in his t-shirt, and even they will never even comment about. But let a woman like appear. So that's the expectation that is expected of us. But we should always be who we want to be. Now going back to your question. About what rethinking. Yeah, I think for me the platforms, there's some platforms that I have built and I've said this is like a professional platform to amplify my work. For example, on LinkedIn, I use LinkedIn for professional sharing of my work, and through LinkedIn I've also got a lot of opportunities. On X is also a platform that I've used, but I'm now trying to drift towards Blue Sky. That is a new version of also the Twitter, and that is also very good. So other platforms such as WhatsApp, I just post what I feel I want to post. It's a mix of both, and I think I don't know if is it controversial or what. I will always tell people that what I post, people don't understand. It's only me who understand.
Now I have a
being what you're posting. But then, like for platform like LinkedIn, let's say you're communicating. You have goals. You've set targets of what you want to achieve. But then for WhatsApp, you're just posting things that. People will understand, because again when you post things, people will interpret it the way they want. You need to rethink what do you have to post on your status and not post, and who has access to it, you know. And also I think most times when you're posting, like Ruth was telling Imi, you already have consented. Like Ruth said, that someone will just you post for 1 minute, but someone has already gotten the screenshot of your
so they can take it.
Yeah, so the question is, when you post something, do you know who has access to it? Because sometimes these platforms that we post, be it LinkedIn or anything, they might have access to our access to our data, and that's why sometimes you see you post something. Let's say you sell oranges and you're posting it maybe on X, and then you start seeing actually targeted ads, because they also use like algorithm things whereby they collect things that you have either searched or you have posted to get targeted tags. Then you start wondering, how did I get this? And then before you know it, maybe the money you've been saving to buy a Kalan has been used for buying maybe a perfume. So that's how it is. That's what I've seen, but maybe the rest of the amazing ladies here can share what they have been for them.
I know Ruth has been smiling, saying, how do I post and not want people to think or know what I am saying? As a communications person, you always want people to get the message and get it right.
When we started this conversation, I think I said that social media has become quite unpredictable in terms of how people respond. There is a very big gap between the poster and the viewers or the audience. They can never be on the same pace. So we should never expect a bridge to be there, because it boils down to purpose. You who has posted, what is your purpose? Are you looking for clients? Are you looking for opportunities? Do you really just want to show off? Are you celebrating a milestone? Are you just happy about something? I think I always tell people that let's accord respect to the person who has posted, because they have a purpose, an objective behind why they've posted. They have their goal in mind. It's up to them to know whether they have met their goal or not.
So do you always have to plan yours, edit, re-edit?
Again, it goes back to purpose. But as women, we have to work twice as hard on social media compared to men, because we are judged on everything. Like we have said, from the looks, even the English. So many times you see women who are in the public figures, like maybe journalists, musicians, TV personalities. Even when they make a typo, it becomes a big deal. It becomes a big deal. Yet we have people who can barely even type in English. Even Luganda, they cannot type a sentence in Luganda. And they are hailed just because they are men. But if a woman types and she makes a typo, she's going to be judged, and they're going to ask her, you remember that musician who said what? There was something about, she talked about grades or something, and spice. And they trolled her until she had to make a song out of it. Maybe that was a coping mechanism. So they trolled her, but I really think it was a blunder while she was speaking. It was a genuine, honest mistake. She was not trying to fool anyone, but they trolled her for 2 years until she had to counter it with making a song out of it. What do we want to get out of our posts? If I am posting because I am happy, I'm celebrating something, so be it. If I am posting because I'm looking for clients, it is fine. If I'm posting because I am expecting to, I'm just posting for my own visibility, it is fine. When we started social media in Uganda, we started with Facebook, where it was just a few people who either knew you from school or in your neighborhood. So these were audiences we knew until Facebook became totally borderless, and we started accepting people according to the algorithms, people who we didn't know. That is where the madness came from. But long ago, people would be like, oh, hi, looking good, nice, congratulations. It was genuine. It was, yes, because they knew you. But now 1 million people, they don't care. They're just looking for, they are throwing around stray bullets. They're looking for who to hurt. So until we crossed the boundaries, until we opened the social media became borderless, until we started accepting strangers, that's where all the madness came from.
Thank you for sharing that. Your final thoughts. But I want to just add something here. But you people, it can't be true that everything on the social media pages or platforms it's only about us women. Don't we have men who support our causes, men who cheer us on, men who inspire us? I mean, like, they are more than us on social media. They are more than us on the tech platforms. So I think we have men and women who are trying to sort of like share this space. Are there those who inspire you when you look at them, be it a man or a woman? Amy, who are the two people who you see inspire you to do more and use the tech space, the online platforms to keep going? Do you have such people?
I think I have more of the women compared to the men.
Okay. Mention 2 women and 1 man.
The 2 women. The 2 women that come to my mind, I think it is Flavia. Okay. She's the first person that comes to my mind. Yes. Okay. Because I think she has mastered the art of utilizing social media
as an MC and
as a trainer, whatever, communications person and the rest. But she has mastered it, that regardless of whatever is thrown at her, it does not affect her. That's the first person that comes to my mind.
So we perceive it does not affect her. Let's assume.
Yes, let's assume she doesn't take it in. She doesn't let it affect her as much as the world would want it to affect her. Okay. For the men, not so many. Like I said, I think I only have 1 South African man who have seen constantly advocating for women, teaching women mainly on life-related situations and advocating for women to be uplifted, and also pointing out the wrongs that men are doing. I don't remember his name, but he's a South African man. That's the only man that comes to my mind at this point. And I think I would look up to. But like I said earlier, it is upon us, the women, to demand for what we want. Take what you have to take. Take what belongs to you, basically. No, like people have said, Ruth and Sandra have said, and there are very few women who are going to be there celebrating another woman's success. Very few. The rest of the women, most of the women, I would say 70% on social media. They will be fighting. It is my own research. It's my own research, my own analysis. My own analysis. But I see a lot of women fighting each other instead of advocating for each other.
Yet we already even few on that space. We could do better if we even
There's
like
so many
came
opportunities that we could do, but we just have to take our power back and then demand for what we have to do with social media.
Okay, thank you so much. Demand for what you want to do, even if you have to do it in Acholi. Ruth earlier said she's a Mugisu. Even if you have to do it in Lugisu, please do. Whether you speak broken English, your first language is Lugisu, Lusoga, Luganda, Lutoro, Runyankore, Ruchiga, Runyakistara, all the others rules. Get the space and use the language you understand best. By the way, sometimes you express yourself better in your mother tongue than even the English. I mean, if I make a mistake in English, it doesn't mean I'm stupid. We've overtaken this thing of English to a level where people can't even now talk because they fear, people will laugh at me. Your final words.
I think for me, the people that inspire me are people like Irene, people like Ruth. For me, I think it's about...
Oh, you mean Irene, me, who is the next to you?
Irene, who is here. Mimi, who is here.
Oh,
Ruth,
goodness.
who is here. For me, those are the people that inspire me. How are we how is the people that are near you a support system? For me, that's inspiration. And I'm just this person whereby if maybe the president is in this crowd and people are fighting to go and take a photo with them, I will not do that, Irene. I will not. For me, I look at how is it that your small circle in the village trying to help you, support you. Those are the little things that inspire me. But I would like to highlight just one woman whom I think has also inspired me, and that is Jackie Asimwe, because of her work that she does with several...
Jackie Asimwe, the lawyer?
Yes, from renowned people to just ordinary people to just entrepreneurs to people who work in different fields. I think for me, I see how she does her work, and now she has intimate conversation with different people, and I feel the way she also amplifies the stories and also use a bit of the videos and a bit of the mental health. When you walk, then you're trying to also rethink what you do, learn from people you're working with, but also you're doing some physical and also exercise that also impacts your mental health. So that's unfortunately I've thought of a man, and it has not come in my mind. And then also there's other person that really inspires me. That woman inspires me. I don't know. And she's called Rebecca Macnon. She is the vice president of Wikimedia policy. She really inspires me. How she brings anyone, from anywhere, and she gives you a platform to share your story. She's a big person, but she'll give you a seat to share your. Then you're like, oh, who am I to, and she just sees anything you've posted and she will be able to retweet. And this is not just an ordinary person. So for me, that is support. Let's try to detangle or decolonize. Let's stop being so serious that because you're in that role, now you can't like a post posted by Irene, shared by Ruth. Let's support one another, because in your growth up, grow up with some people so that in your fall down, they will also be able to support you. Yeah, that's what I can say.
I pray we don't fall down. When we go up, we continue going up with other people. But I like something that you said, that sometimes when you're going up there, don't put a wall so high that others won't be able to see and notice who you are anymore. You try and like sort of like remain the authentic you, the real you. If you're Sandra, I can still come and say, Sandra, we'd start from there and we're able to have a conversation. Finally, from Ruth, I see you've been preparing. Me, I don't mind whether you want to conclude in your local language, English, it doesn't matter. As long as there's a message, it is okay. Let us go.
Okay. One woman who really inspires me is Dr. Gladys Otto. And I like her content because she's genuinely proud to serve her community, and it re-echoes in all her posts. She's very passionate about her work, and she's genuinely concerned about her patients. And to top it all up, she's living in a place which is considered among the least developed places in Uganda and the most backward places in Uganda.
Which one is that?
Karamoja. Yeah, so considered
very rich,
yeah,
they have
very
minerals that
wealthy,
others don't have.
and they keep
Gold.
I still think they're still discovering more minerals, because remember we recently discovered marble there. That was just last year. So
Marble has been there for so long. They've been mining it for such a long time.
until they
Imagine, and they say they're poor.
so they're I think Gladys Otto is outstanding for me because of that. And then to think of a woman in Uganda, another one is Uganda would be a bit difficult, because I think we are still very restrictive in how we are not authentic in ways we associate, because of how aggressive our environment is. The people online, we are still censoring what we post, and you can see it in every woman's post, be it Farida Nakazibe, be it Shiba. You see how they are posting that they are immunizing. They are like, let me go slow on these people. I know them. Because you find that a woman posts today and then tomorrow she's like, Auntie, yesterday people told me you don't like my Iga shoes. So like they're always addressing comments. Auntie, yesterday, you know, like we're always, instead of posting what we want, we are always addressing what people are saying. So, but on a more African landscape, I would talk of Vicky James. Vicky James is a designer in Nigeria, and I find it quite fascinating that she is very comfortable in her femininity. You know, I like it when a woman enjoys being a woman. She's not competing with anyone for space. She just loves being a woman, and all her content is like, hey, I love being a woman. So for us here, we either want to appear so professional, like Sandra said, like people are like so serious. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like that. We want either to be so professional, or if you want to show that we are good wives, we are overdoing it. We are like, you do not get to enjoy yourself and your space. Then the guy I can think of is Solomon Buchi. He's also Nigerian. I follow so many Nigerians. So Solomon Buchi is yes, get me Oga. So Solomon Buchi is always talking about women things, because him being married and seeing his wife go through pregnancy, all these things, it has made him more sensitive to the unique needs of his partner. And you see that he's very open about them, and he's always advocating for husbands to support their women, and through his own experiences. So I think that we need more men like that, because we have fathers, but they're not hands-on fathers. They are fathers by their position and by their posture, but they're not hands-on. You find that men are taking paternity leave, but they're not at home to go and watch football. So that's what men are doing. They're not using their paternity leave to enjoy the experience of being a new dad. So they never have the experience, actually, despite them being fathers. Women, I like what Immaculate said, that it's really up to us now to take up our space and demand for what is rightfully ours. It doesn't mean that we're going to be confrontational, but we are just going to be who we are supposed to be, who we want to be, without owing anyone any explanation.
And without owing anyone any apology. You know, sometimes they tell you, apologize to avoid what? Trouble. Avoid further trouble, even when you don't know what you're apologizing for. How many trousers do you want us to have in this house? Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. I am so honored to have the ladies have this conversation in the house. And I tell you what, just like we said earlier, if you're a guy and it's paternity leave time, post and show us also that you're on paternity leave. Create content and inspire not just the women but other guys, but also I mean, like someone said, men have to also show us that there's hope, that there are many good guys still out there.
Exactly.
If you mean to do something, do it, and just don't do it for the content. Let it be that it is authentically you, that if I show up to your house, to your doorstep, at your workplace, wherever you do whatever it is you do, I will still find you and not find another version of you that I can't recognize. I am so honored to have this space with you today, ladies. Sandra, Immaculate, Ruth. And it has been just random conversations about the things that we do in life, about the things that we do in the tech space. I'm Abalo Irene Otto. Until next time, I am still hunting for that guy who really had paternity leave. And I am also hunting for Jackie Asimwe and the people that you've mentioned here that you appreciate. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get the one from Nigeria, but I will try. Yes, I'll try and see who I can bring on the show. And that's it from me. For now, it is bye-bye.